All right, so I titled this inflation because I'm going to talk inflation a little bit because I think that's really going to be an issue coming up. I think we've got inflation knocking at our door. Oop, and I always get this one. And there I am. Because I do think inflation is going to be a problem pretty soon. I think there's a lot of things that will be screaming about that, and that's been a big reason why we had the big gold rally too, up past 2000, which I was brutally wrong on because I wanted to get out at 1800 or 18. Yeah, so I'm out. I'm way out of gold. Missed it entirely. But this is what I've been thinking about. Back in April, I actually put something out on LinkedIn and talked about where I thought that this whole lockdown, shutdown, closing down all the economy is going to be an issue for inflation, which doesn't really seem to make sense. Everything's shutting down, everything's not doing anything. But what's happening now, we've been pumping all the money in the economy. We're opening the economy back up. People are out there again looking for stuff. They're buying stuff, and supply is just not there. China shut down. All the plants here in the States shut down. We just shut down all over the place. So now we've got all these supply issues with it. People want stuff. They got money for it, free cash flow, but they can't actually find it now. So it's going to be an issue. I think it's going to be a big issue. And I think we've kind of seen somewhat because of the prices going around. You look at lumber. I mean, lumber's been a big story for quite some time now. And I mean, another article came out today said lumber with a ridiculous rally. And some of the story that I know about lumber is on the fact that back before the whole shutdown occurred, they had lumber curtailments. Basically, they were actually closing down some of the lumber mills, and they were actually reducing the supply back at that point. And this is before the shutdown. This is back in like January, February. So they were already cutting back then. And now, all the stuff that's going on to drive lumber up is, people, there's the urban flight, which I think is very real. I've hearing a lot about that in New York, about in Chicago, a lot of the big cities where people are leaving the cities, moving up to the suburbs, trying to build new houses. Well, new houses now, they're saying, hey, but the homes and new houses now have been inflated by, they're saying typically around 15 grand just because of this massive run up in lumber. So that's certainly an issue. Houses are getting expensive. People are looking to buy older homes. They're going to be, that's going to be a thing. That's going to be going to, I'm all for that because I'm trying to sell my house. So that could be something going on. But they're saying the lumber rally is actually about 15 grand in new houses. So that's just something to really keep an eye on. That's obviously huge. Contract we're looking at today was steel. It's HRC at the Mercantile Exchange. HRC steel. It's hot rolled coil steel. And of course, one of the precursors to that is, my dog found something to sniff at. Buddy, come on. Come on. He's going to keep sniffing. One of the precursors to that is iron ore. And we all know, well, the thing with HRC steel is it's up to the levels it was back in February. What was going on in February? Well, nothing was going on in February. We weren't even shutting down yet. The economy was still smoking along really good. And we're seeing a lot of commodities now, a lot of products that are back up to prices we are before the pandemic shut down. Steel is one of them. Now, you can argue that part of the steel thing is caused off of the iron ore massive rally. I mean, iron ore at DCE rally was like $900. Well, one actually, but way out of the realm of possibilities. Got way up there. A lot of that's based off supply also. Supply got cut down. A lot of that supply got cut down because part of it was because of the pandemic. Pandemic in Brazil for Vale actually shut down a lot of the production of it, so it didn't get all the iron ore over there. But now that's flowing through. Now we're trying to build stuff again, and we don't have the supply for it. So that's something we're really concerned about. I think it's one of the reasons why bonds roll over. Bonds are getting hit up a little bit. I think it's going to take us off of negative or negative or next to zero rates, possibly. I don't know. Kind of gets a feel to that, but we've got a lot of commodities now. Look at soybeans. Soybeans are at like a 2-year high. Look at some of the other grains like wheat and corn. Some of the basic things, they're back to relatively healthy levels, healthier than we were, 3-4 months ago. You look at some of the softs like sugar and cotton. They're doing extremely well. So a lot of the products that we use in everyday life are really coming up and doing quite well. So it's got to lead you to think that maybe inflation is knocking at the door. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but that's what I wrote about back in April on a LinkedIn article. I may have pushed it out again today because I really think that's going to be an issue. We've got a lot of money floating around. Yeah, there's still employment problems. There's still at 10%, but the people that do have money, they need stuff. They're trying to buy stuff. They're trying to do things. And we don't have the supply for it. So something to keep an eye out for. Just my kind of thought. Wanted to show where I'm at. I'm up in the North Woods, Northwest Wisconsin. That's the lake we live on. I don't actually live on. I'm kind of staying with my in-laws up here. Come here, bud. And I'm thinking inflation. So want to share it with you. Got any thoughts on it? let me know. Send me a note. Love to hear about it. Now we'll talk to y'all later.